Hi everybody, I'm Bill Sanders and this is WatchArtSci, the art and science of watch collection. Now, as a quick refresher, what I wanted was a watch with either a white or a blue dial on it because I had two black dials, and I thought, well, I'll get something either white or blue. And by white, I mean some version of cream, or even a light brown would have been nice too. And as as things happen, um, the watch I got wasn't exactly what I had planned on. Things happen. And in order to understand that, the first thing I have to do is to show you the watch that I got. So off we go, and let's take a look at the opening. Okay, today the GMT arrived, and I thought I'd have a true unboxing. I haven't done anything with it. Okay, let me cut it right here. Use my handy dandy knife and try not to destroy everything in it. Okay. Now, this is a watch that, quite frankly, even though a version of it was in the mix of watches that we took a look at, it wasn't one of the GMTs I thought I'd be getting. A lot of different things happened, believe me, in terms of the price and so forth. Some other watches I considered, gee, a lot of them. There was this fantastic Jaeger-LeCoultre watch that I was looking at. The two Rolexes, I really liked them. The Omega with the coaxial movement. They just were an incredibly. There are a large number of ones, and I had to consider everything. Now, as a reminder, let me tell you what I was looking for. First of all, I wanted something with a dial that was white or blue, and with, of course, and then it was GMT, and it was also mechanical. Okay, either automatic or wind up, it didn't matter. And let me see, what were some of the other criteria I had? Oh yeah, I wanted a metal bracelet. Okay, one I have here is not metal. It's another one. So it was pretty clear. One of the problems with some of them, they didn't have one of the other features of it, or they cost too much, or there was something wrong with them. So let's take a look and see what we finally ended up with our GMT. Okay, these things, God, I guess they call it popcorn. Well, let me take the popcorn out. It's always nice to see. It's a lot easier to get this part done with the gloves off, and then I can put them on when I handle the watch. Okay, so another watch I really liked, and would have probably got if I hadn't have found out something about it, is the Girard-Perregaux. I really like that watch with the cream colored dial, and I found one, and so I did some research on it, some background research, and that particular model, for a very it was like a short period of time, was this the movement in it wasn't Girard-Perregaux, and they had this sort of weird movement in there for a while. Forgot the name of the company. It wasn't one that you'd probably know right off the top of your head, but it was sort of like a not quite right. And one of the criteria was I wanted to get an in-house manufacturer, and Girard-Perregaux had that in the model of the watch that they had. They came out with a later version with a lower reference number for some reason. Okay, let's see what I got here. All right. Okay. Well, anyway, I ended up not getting that, and it was one I thought, oh, I finally found exactly the one I wanted. It had the cream color dial, which is as good as a white dial. Okay. Out it comes. All right, so I got that part done. Anyway, those things did happen. I would have probably ended up with that one. I may have ended up with it. I really like the Rolexes. I don't have a Rolex, and I really like those too. Both of them, the Explorer 2, and I like the GMT, especially the GMT, because that's what I was looking for. But one of the things, it was a small thing. It didn't have the color of the dial I wanted, but that wasn't a deal breaker by a long shot. Some other things that came up that were like some of the other watches that I was getting at the same time. Okay, let's see. How is this thing? This thing is sealed up like mad. And so let's see what we finally ended up with. Here we go. There it is. Taking this guy apart. And let's see. Here we are. Here's a little card here. Okay, with my receipt and everything. All right, that's good. So let's see what we got in here. Okay. And, geez, boy, you got boxes and boxes. Well, you want something well packaged when it comes. Let me take this out of here. Okay, I'll put this here, move this out of the way. Put all this stuff over here. Okay. And let's see, here's the box. Now we can take the box out. And let's take a look here what we have. Let me get this nice and centered and turn it around so we can see what it is. And voila, the Zenith. I had said I didn't particularly care for the looks of that Zenith, but then I found a one that I really liked. So let's take a look what I got here. Here's the Zenith box, and it's time for the gloves to go on. This is not the one, like I said, that we looked at, but it was a different one, and it's a GMT, and I'll show you some of the other stuff about it I like. Okay. All right, and out it comes, and it's got a blue dial. Okay, let me take it off of here. Let's see this. There we are. There's the metal I wanted, and let me take this off. This is where I need the gloves. Come on off. Let me show you this guy. Okay. And there it is. This is my new GMT. It has a blue dial. That was one of the things that I wanted. The GMT is right there. It's a very small, relatively small GMT. Then it has the small seconds, and it's an automatic with an in-house Zenith engine in it. And so here it is with the metal. I put it on right now. I got another watch on. But one of the things I was thinking of is that, well, you know, I got watches with. I have my major, one of my main everyday watches, my overseas, Vassar and Constantine overseas. I was thinking, you know, it'd be cool, would be like a blue alligator strap on it. I wonder what that would look like. Okay, so that's it. I want to thank everybody for their help, and I'll be talking about this a little more. fortunately, I really did get some fantastic advice from everybody. And so I took their advice and also some of my own advice, and I got the Zenith. Now, one of the things, when I got it, I thought, wow, I really like the blue dial. Here it is with its blue dial. And I thought, well, I'll get a blue strap to go with it. And so I did. This was something I was thinking about. I thought, well, this would be perfect for going on a cruise where that's where I'd want to use my GMT. And this is it's a pretty decent GMT. It's got it's not a El Premio movement, which is really nice, but rather it's an elite. An elite movement is a good movement and it's in-house by Zenith. It's called an Elite 682 movement, and I was very happy with it. The watch was made between 2000 and 2009, so it's not really a vintage watch, but it's sort of a little older than I was expecting. I ended up with what I could afford. Now, as you notice, I put a leather strap on it, a blue leather strap, and the reason I did it was that I got a very, very good buy on this watch on my Zenith here. They're about roughly a $4,000 watch. And this one, for some reason, they hadn't been able to sell for a long time. So I looked at the fine print and found out why. Somebody who owned it before had taken out 2 links of the bracelet, and it was like, I think, 6.5 inches or something. And of course, it's a great idea for someone with a smaller wrist. And so I thought, well, maybe I can get into that. I couldn't. However, before I bought it, I found it was $200. I could buy a brand new one from Switzerland, a brand new stainless steel Zenith bracelet for $200. So I offered him 200 less than they were asking, and he took it immediately. So I'm just sort of waiting for my bracelet to come from Switzerland. But in the meantime, I've really come to like, I've never had any colored, other than black and brown, strap before. And this one, by the way, too, this one came with 2 different buckles, a gold one and then a silver colored one, or stainless steel, for the different color. If you have a different color watch, really a nice one. Now this particular one I got at a little fancier store. It's an Italian make, and it's very comfortable. For some reason, I don't know why, I was going nuts. I also got a German one. It was a blue one I liked. And then I got another one. I don't know where it was from. I got it at a jewelry store. It looked really good. I got it because it had the best blue, I thought. But this one has stitching, and it's, a little nicer. So that's going to be my GMT. The GMT time stick is right here. And I just set it right now for 5 hours ahead of where we are, and that would be 5 hours to GMT. Okay, next week I'm going to have another opening. And this is a watch that set me back, but I got a very good buy on it. And it is sort of like almost, well, in my case, it was sort of beyond my grail. So that's going to be a lot of fun next Friday. I'm going to have another collection review in between time. We're starting to get some, and in fact, we're getting a number of them. So I'm very glad to see it. And your collections that I'm getting are really neat collections. So I'm having a lot of fun with it. Okay, that's all for now, and I'll see you next Friday. If you'd like to subscribe, you're more than welcome. This is an invitation to subscribe. And I'd really like to hear your comment, though. Some of you may say, well, I suggested this and you got that Zenith. Okay, I did. And there wasn't a bad suggestion. In fact, I discovered a lot of new watches that I want, and I'll probably get in more trouble going after them than I want to. I still want to get an Omega. I still want to get a Rolex. I'm the only guy that I know who doesn't have one. And so maybe that'll come. I'll put that in the hopper if I don't end up in debtor's prison over some of these other purchases. So next week we're going to have the first one of those. Okay, that's it. See you next week. Bill Sanders for WatchArtSci.